I didn't go to uni today and now I feel shit about it. On Monday is my productive day. I have gaps in between each lecture so I can get a lot done. To reward myself, I always make myself a pot of pesto pasta with avocado and chickpeas and whatever else I can throw in, and it's amazing and I love it. So I made myself this last night, ready for a good start to the week. This morning Juliet knocked on my door at 8 o'clock. By this point I was fully awake, so I could have got up and got ready and gone to uni, but instead I forced myself to go back to sleep, even though for like once in my life I didn't feel the need to go to sleep. So now I'm here eating my reward lunch, even though I don't deserve my reward lunch. Yet this is what I have to eat and it just doesn't taste as good when I feel really guilty. I have to give myself breaks and I have to give myself a chance to catch up, and my mental health has to come first. But I don't know if that's what this is. I don't know whether I am just letting myself sleep because I need it, or whether I'm letting myself sleep to avoid other things. I'm becoming dependent on naps and sleep. Just sleep, sleep, sleep. I sleep away my problems. I don't really know where I'm at with my mental health. I automatically, when someone asks me, say it's good, because nothing bad has happened for a very long time and my anxiety is under control about 90–95% of the time. But because of that, I don't think about my mental health as much, and then I sort of lose control of it. What starts out as a good thing just ends up me being in this sort of limbo land between being really bad and being better. I can get to a point where it's okay and then I don't have to think about it, and then it slowly goes downhill from there and I don't know what to do about it. I had a phone appointment with the doctor the other day just to get a new lot of pills. The doctor asked me how I was. I was like, yeah, I'm fine, thank you, because I'm English, that's what you do in answer to that question. You just say, yeah, I'm fine, no matter how bad it is. And yeah, I am fine. I'm in a relatively good place. I was feeling okay that day, so I said, yeah, I'm fine, forgetting that it was an appointment about my mental health, and then the doctor would interpret that as the pills are doing a good thing. She said I have to be off them in 3 months. Great. Can't wait for that. Love it. My flatmates are back from their productive day at uni while I'm just here eating pasta in my room. Sorry, had to go and read a gas meter because I'm an adult. Anyway, I had this last time I tried to get medication too, with a different doctor but the same surgery, and that's like my surgery at uni, not my surgery at home. He was basically like, okay, I'm going to give you this 3-month thing and then you have to be off by November. And 3 months is a very short amount of time to just suddenly turn your mental health around, and especially with a deadline, like it just doesn't work like that. You can't just be like, okay, I have to get better because the doctor says I have until this date. Like, it's a very gradual process and it doesn't happen just because you want it to happen. So that kind of made me feel a bit shit, because I feel like both the doctors I've seen don't understand my mental health, and that's not great because that's their job. And the other doctor I saw at that practice, who initially put me on the medication, she also doesn't understand mental health apparently, because I went in there the first time and I was like, I'm having a really shit time, please sort me out. And she was like, no, I think you should just give medication another go. She also gave me some people to call about having CBT, and I had that too and it was all great. But I had another appointment with her, this was face to face, about her signing a form so that I could get a disabled student allowance, which isn't like money, but it's support that the government pays for. So I got the form from my uni and filled in all my bits, and I had to pay the doctors £20 so that she would sign this form saying, yes, this person has a mental illness and she should be eligible to get this grant, or whatever it is. It's not a grant. I got a phone call a week later from the doctor's surgery saying that they couldn't complete my form because I don't have a disability. I paid £20. That was the main concern for me, but also the fact that they decided I didn't have a disability. And I guess it's a personal thing, but I don't consider myself to have a disability. Some people would consider a mental illness to be a disability, but in this case it comes under the umbrella of disability. I get that. I went and talked to a receptionist and she said that the doctor had said that I wasn't eligible for the DSA support because I hadn't had an illness for over a certain amount of time. I think it was over 6 months or over 12 months, when I have had depression since I was in year 8 and had it diagnosed since I was in year 11. So how many years is that? Too many. I told the receptionist that and she was like, you just got to make a doctor's appointment and tell the doctor that, because clearly like there's some misunderstanding here and it all gets sorted out and you won't have wasted your money. So I went in to see the doctor and told her that there had been a problem with my form and that she had refused to sign it because I wasn't eligible. And she told me that I wasn't eligible because it said on the form that the patient had to have had the disability or condition for at least 6, maybe 12 months. I can't remember. And that doesn't even make sense to me because say you've just been diagnosed with something, or maybe even talking physical disability, you've just been in a car crash and lost both your legs. That's going to affect you for the rest of your life and for the rest of the time you're studying. But because it's only just happened to you, you're apparently less worthy of support. If anything, you need more support while you're adjusting to like a new way of living. But anyway, that's a completely separate tangent I'm going down. Let's get back to the doctor, which doesn't understand. In the first appointment, maybe like a month or 2 beforehand, we had talked about like my whole life history and when things started getting bad and when I got my diagnosis, etc, etc. So she knew that I'd been diagnosed with a mental illness for 3.5 years at that point and had a mental illness for way longer than that. So, you know, I just had assumed it was a mistake. But she said because I had been off my medication from between 2014 until the present day, which was the start of 2016, that I was better during that time, that I wasn't ill during that time, and that my life hadn't been affected during that time, when in fact I chose to go off my medication because I was in an okay place and I was stable enough that I could cope without it. But that whole time I still had depression and anxiety, and I still had all the bad things that came along with that. It was difficult, but I was sort of challenging myself and I was very proud of myself for being able to do it without chemicals aiding me. So I didn't want to die every day. In that sense, I was better. But every day, it was a struggle to get out of bed. It was a struggle to stay awake through a lesson. It was a struggle to get the bus without having a panic attack. And I did it all every day for over a year. I was happy and I was successful in college and I was relatively healthy, but it was still affecting me every day and I still had depression and anxiety. You wouldn't believe it. I told her basically exactly what I just told you, but with tears running down my face and a lot more aggressively. And she signed the form silently. You couldn't look at me, and I left. I grabbed the form and left. And I haven't been back to her since because I don't like her anymore. Back to the other 2 doctors who've both given me a deadline to get off my medication by. I'm not trying to be a spoilt brat and saying I know more than the doctors and just demanding pills, because I can have pills. I don't want to be on medication. I have a lot of terrible side effects and I don't enjoy it, but it keeps me from wanting to die. And that is relatively important in life, actually. I will come off it at some point, and hopefully that will be soon. But I can't rush my body into being ready. Maybe in 3 or 4 months I will be, but maybe I won't, and that's also okay. Expecting so much of myself is just putting more pressure on, which is lowering my chance of actually getting better. So, woo. I haven't even finished this pasta yet, but I think we should leave it there. So, thank you for watching. Thanks for hearing me out while I just mumble about stuff that's going on in my life. Hope you got something out of it, even if that was just being angry at one of my doctors. That's cool. That's fine. Was that there the whole time? That jumper? I'm pretty sure it wasn't. Sorry.